Captain's log, stardate 2641.12.06. The Artemis has continued on our mission to locate and eliminate the Red Raider drone threat. During our exploration of one of the systems connected to the original gate we first traversed, we have encountered the Emir, a warlike race. They powered up weapons and locked onto us as soon as we came within sensor range. Cadet Cygnus Lee determined that their weapons capabilities vastly surmounted ours, so I have decided to comply with their demands and retreat for the time being. We return to Seleno for now, and will look for trade opportunities to gain sufficient resources to upgrade the ship's capabilities. Commodore Yu has agreed to my recommendation to promote the crew, given their exemplary conduct and courage under fire. All bridge crew members have been awarded the rank of Ensign 3rd Class. After leaving the docks at Seleno, we've made contact with the Guerrier once more. The ship seems to be hanging out in the system quite a bit as a point of contact, and we can ask them a few questions about our recent discoveries, as well as see if we can trade with them. Now, the Commodore has warned us not to be too forthcoming with information, but at the same time they also know a lot more about this region of space than we do, so we'll gain something from it as well. We found a ring portal. That was the portal that was not from the Remnant tech, but later, probably Empire tech, trying to rebuild or recreate the warp gates. The academics of the fallen Empire learned much about the Remnants. For their quest to preserve knowledge, they were named heretics by the devout and purged from the galaxy. They used these portals to flee into the void and took the secret of their workings with them. Okay, that's interesting. So the Empire was, well, obviously an imperial, multiracial, galaxy-spanning government or structure or state, but within there were different races, potentially with different responsibilities. So we've met the CXTA, I think was the name. They seem to be specialized on shipping. We've met the Guerrier, which seems to be one of the warrior castes, well, almost like a caste system, yeah. And now the Guerrier mentioned that there were academics, so probably a sort of researcher scientist caste. But apparently the devout, the religious caste, were after that. What is that? Potentially after the fall of the Empire. So let's assume that the devout were the sort of religious class in the Empire, and after the and they seem to be considering remnants as gods, such that when the academics were trying to gain remnant knowledge, that didn't sit well with the devout, the religious class. And after the fall of the Empire and the removal of the government structure, they effectively put their distaste into action and purged them from the galaxy, called them heretics. And then the academics were the ones building the portals that we've discovered, and have escaped into, well, they say into the void, but So were these portals that have no portal on the other end, like one-way portals of sorts? Interesting. We'll have to find out more about all of this. But the devout are starting to sound like the most problematic in the area. Maybe they have something to do with these Raider drones. We'll find out. How about the Emir? We've met the Emir. They are a brutish mercenary race, trustworthy, but only if you have the most copper. We have had occasion to deal with them, but prefer not to. Okay, so so either they were already mercenaries within the Empire, or they were imperial soldiers who, after the fall of the government, were no longer paid and then became effectively mercenaries, which would make sense. And they trade in copper, so we do need some copper. All right, let's see what we can trade for. Unfortunately, yeah, we have about 8 copper. Unfortunately, we have no silver, which is what the Guerrier are trading in. We could sell them some uranium, which is not something I currently need, or we could sell them. Oh, actually, we get some hint. This is might be. I didn't even see that when I test played it. We actually get a hint as to which modules require these. So there is really no need for us to keep this. So we can sell this to the, we could sell this to the Guerrier for silver, and then purchase a few of the other things. So we would need 1 iridium, 1 chirolite, 4 gold, 6 titanium, and I don't think we need to purchase aluminium because we can get that, we can salvage that from the radar drones relatively easily. So let's try to offload that to the Guerrier, which would net us some silver, which we then trade back for gold. We just have to see how far we can go. I think yttrium is probably going to be the biggest problem. We need iridium. We need chiron. Yeah, that's already too much. So yeah, we'll reset it first. There's not yet enough. We could sell them the uranium as well for fission-based weapons. Might be hard to come by that, so I might hang on to it. Okay, we'll eventually want to buy these artifacts as well. For now, let's end the communications. We do have the system where we met the Amir, and we still have another flinger in the radar territory here. But I'm assuming that this connects to the other flinger here. It might not. There might be different stars in between, but it looks logical that these 2 Higgs flingers would be connected, which would sort of then, given that we have really nothing else going and we don't want to go any much further here. This is where we found the point portal, but we were getting into devout space quite a bit here. So potentially, at least we had some hints about that. So I think given that we have really nothing else, and I think there was nothing else in the ring world here, at least no systems around other than the orange star here, so that was really far off. I think it's best to probably continue and try to complete the investigation of this cluster of systems in the, for better word, northeastern arm of the galaxy, and then see where we get from there. This of course means that we're potentially going to be running into raiders again, which is good because we can harvest some aluminium from them, which we need for further upgrades of the Artemis. Although nothing on the sensors, so okay. Last time we were intercepted by raiders here, but for now there's nothing on the sensors. So let's head to the Higgs flinger and see where that gets us. No hostiles detected. And we still, oh no, there they come. Okay, radar drones incoming. We have 2 of them, I believe. That should not be a massive problem. Let's see if we can get them to chase. Okay, that's 1 down, and the second one will stay outside their effective weapons range, and with that they're relatively easy to take out. And that is additional material. I think this greenish one was aluminium. This is titanium. Yeah, we need that as well. And we do need more aluminium, so always welcome. So there were some radar drones in here, but not an awful lot this time. Okay, let's activate this Higgs flinger and see where that transports us. So oh no, actually it brings us to a new star system up. There are 2 new star systems up here. Okay, now that we get out, first sensor sweep. Any hostiles? Not by the looks of it. So in that case, let's have a look at this massive moon. It's too big for a moon. Maybe it's a space station. Nope, there's absolutely nothing going on. All right, we've got a few more locations to investigate. I think that is another. Is that another moon? No, it's a rocky planet. Let's get that examined. And there's nothing here either. Okay, radar scouts in this system. So we're definitely okay. And more scouts just jumped in. All right, so we are going to be in combat, and we do have 2 more scouts coming in from the other side. So we do need to watch our back here and not get engaged, not get surrounded by them. So we'll disengage, just fire defensively towards the rear to watch the energy levels here and see if we can. Nope, can't take them out. Okay, another one's giving chase. So we'll take that one on then instead. At this range, unfortunately, the plasma guns are not the most precise either. Light Lancer has jumped in as well, so there's a significant radar presence in this system, which means we'll have to take out these scouts relatively quickly before the Lancer gets to us. Let's get the last one blown up. There we go, and the Lancer is already on us. We do want to shoot off the forward guns on this thing if possible. So let's see if we can manage that. But we do have to be careful because they have fixed gun positions in the front. So if we can shoot these off, that would be ideal. And then such that we can actually go and research them. We've taken some damage to the forward section, and one of the plasma turrets is inoperable. So we currently only have 2 of them active. But I think we've got everything down up to the Lancer. And well, that should make that relatively easy. Now he is trying to escape by the looks of it. Yeah, the Lancer is actually running. So engines to maximum power, and see if we can catch up with him, because it seems that he might actually lead us somewhere. To be honest, we're very slowly catching up. We're not yet in plasma range, but we might follow him for a bit and see if he leads us to potentially to a radar outpost or an otherwise undiscovered source of the radar systems. We have been following the enemy ship into deep space for over a sector now, and it's been quite a chase that it's been leading us on. But so far, no other star systems show up on the sensors. We have been trying to keep out of range, but it's unclear at this point if this drone has an actual target or if he's just leading us deeper and deeper into space. It could also be a trap. So I might be inclined to, if we can catch up to him, destroy him and return to known space before we are led too far astray. So let's see if we can make it into weapons range. Still no other contacts. So it's entirely possible that this is some form of trap. But he's still out of range, and I think our engines are roughly comparable, so it might actually be reasonably difficult to catch up to him. We'll chase him a little bit more, see if this chase leads anywhere. Okay, we have gotten into combat range of the enemy drone. There are no systems or any other structures, so it seems that he was literally just leading us into deep space, which means we will be taking him out and then returning to known space to investigate the rest of the systems. That is easier said than done, though, because he is evasive, and these things are quite a bit sturdier than the light drones. But I think we've taken down his engines, and we'll hammer the hull. Space is big. Well observed, Lieutenant Commander. We are quite off course, to be honest, and this chase has led us nowhere, curiously. So let's make our way back towards the system that we were previously investigating, and to that rocky planet that the radar Lancer has tried to push us away from, or lead us away from. See if we find any hints. Again, these are unmanned systems, potentially remote controlled. We've talked about we've discovered this in the last episode. So we haven't picked up any artifacts, unfortunately. So no further technology to be researched. We'll be making our way back. Meanwhile, Alex Triton has sufficiently studied the economies of the region that we can research trait analysis. Okay, that's interesting. So he's done some research on that is his position, but he's done some research onto the information we have of how the trade economies or the bartering economies work, because every clan or every caste seems to be using its own raw materials as currency, and we can get some better insights. So anyway, well, that's a good use of time while we are in deep space. Personal log, Octavia Avery. In the few weeks we've been serving together, the captain has conducted himself well so far, given his inexperience in command. He's bold but cautious, and generally puts the ship first. I'm concerned, however, about his focus on the mission. He doesn't realize that we are a group from all sorts of backgrounds. Jen and me obviously have experience in operations, but Ria had been a xenobiologist with both feet firmly on planetary, and Triton is more accustomed to flirting in a bar than obeying orders on a starship. Perks is good at what she does, but only follows orders when she's not currently distracted. Kepler is all serious, but she clearly has very little service experience as well. I think she's scared underneath. Gliese is going to be a problem. I've worked with people like him back when we were running the Venusian blockade. Thinks he knows everything. Thinks he should be in charge. Qualified, but unfit to work within a command structure. Back with the runners, he'd have been quietly left behind at a bar somewhere. You couldn't afford leading a clan and having to constantly watch your back, never sure if he'd put a plasma bolt in it. Problem is, we're all Starcom now. Cromwell has shown to bend orders a bit when he sees fit, which is promising. We'll see if I can trust him, or if he's the officer's school poster boy that he looks after all. Till then, I'll just have to keep an eye on everyone, I guess. Actually, I have diverted the course towards the Orange Star system, and the neighboring one that we, because that does not seem to have a flinger, so we can investigate that first, then return and then take the flinger, which would probably bring us to the Ermir guarded system that we had visited last time. And we might see, we might have a conversation with them and see how much copper they're actually asking. We have a bit of copper. So we might be able to trade with them. We'll see. But for now, we have landed in this section of space, and we've got some planets. Oh, actually, no, we have raiders again. So we've got several scouts, 2 destroyers. That is actually a reasonably dangerous group of ships. So we do need to. Evade as much as we can and thin them out first before we engage more seriously. We've got still 2 of the scouts here, so let's begin with these while avoiding the fire from the much more potent fire from the destroyer, and we'll deal with that after the probes have been taken out, or the scouts have been taken out. Some more materials, mostly aluminium, but yeah, we have to be careful to avoid crossfire from the destroyer, because they can do a lot of damage, especially that there's 2 of them. So let's keep our distance here, and this is probably going to be a tough engagement. First of all, let's get that scout out of the way. And there we go. Scout been demolished. The destroyers are tough targets. So these we need to. Oh, yttrium. That's very useful. These we need to be very careful with, because these things have significant weapon systems forward. Yeah, like these fixed weapon systems. I do want to have the artifacts from them, but we'll try to maintain maximum distance. Oh yeah, they do a lot of damage. We've just taken 2 shots into the left engine, and that has certainly been oh yes. Okay, crew to battle stations, nano repair systems activating, and return fire as much as possible, and stay out of the range of the secondary turrets until we have some repairs done. Definitely have to be careful with the forward turrets. Our armor plating front is not capable of withstanding firepower of that magnitude. And we'll have to... Oh, yeah, like these. Okay, we've taken a few shots on the armor. That seems to have actually worked better than last time, and we seem to have shot something off. But, yeah, okay, we've got the navigation sensors. We've lost the navigation sensors. Hull is down to 3%. I think at this point we need to disengage. Significant damage encountered in a close-range engagement with one of the enemy destroyers. We are not. Yeah, we'll have to disengage for now. I think they're guarding this system. I think they are fast. We are faster than them, but we have taken some severe hits. We had to. Okay, they're actually giving chase. Can we? That is mildly problematic. Okay, navigation sensors are back online. But they are giving chase. which is less than great because their fixed weapons outrange our plasma turrets. Although I don't think they can catch up with us. We might have to try and escape this system. Well, we can try because the emirs seem to be reasonably hostile to these things. What we can try is we can try to lead them towards the flinger and see if they follow us across, and then get the emir to take care of them. But yeah, we actually had to use some force fields to seal off the hull breaches here, and yeah, getting within firing range of these things is less than ideal. Okay, we'll use the flinger for now and see if we can make our way. Okay, it seems that they're actually abandoning the chase. Are they? The second one, the damaged first one, seems to have retreated, but the damaged one here, yeah, there come the shots. I don't think they're necessarily following us through getting ready to engage the flinger. I'm not sure if they would follow us through, but yeah, okay. They're definitely giving chase. So off the flinger we go, and I don't know if they are either know how to use the Higgs flingers or if they're capable of doing it. But it seems that let's get ready to return fire. But it seems that they are not giving chase. This was the planet that was guarded by the Emir. It seems that they're not giving chase. Whew, yeah, we definitely need some firepower upgrades to the Artemis. We can't take on the radar destroyers just yet. These things are too powerful. We had a very, very close call there with hull integrity down to 3%, and Ensign Gliese is less than amused about my abuse of his nano repair systems. Okay, let's have a chat with. Let's see if we can approach the. Emir. Let's just get into comms range. Okay, they're not interested. They're not interested in any way. So for further communications. So let's make our way out of here. Okay, this puts us into. Okay, we get some analysis from Ensign Cygnus Lee. I've been analyzing the radar attacks based on their arrival warp signatures. I think I see a tactical pattern. Okay, so we have some. Let's get out of the range of the Emir because we don't want to annoy these people. But it seems that there is a likely origin region. Okay, so it's within this yellow nebula. The problem is that we don't have sufficient firepower by far to take them on by ourselves. So with that, I believe we're sort of back to the drawing board. We can. What else do we have? We have this system, which is where the destroyers were. Let's return to this rocky planet here for now. Let's see if the radar destroyers were still there. But this is good news. Unfortunately, Commodore Yu doesn't have any other ships available. He was talking about a second ship that they lost communications with. So there might be more Starcom in the area. Let's see if the destroyers have been guarding the. Oh, that's bad. They have been guarding the. The flinger. So they're effectively giving chase now. Okay, they appear not to know how to activate or how to use the Higgs flingers. That is actually good news. So we know that this is a method of disengaging from them. We can try to fight them at long range. I'm very keen to see if they have any weapons on them that we could analyze, or materials really that we could salvage from the wreckage. Maybe if we keep them the same way we've been handling the drones, if we keep them at maximum range and try to stay out of range of their systems. Okay, additional scouts have jumped in. We need to deal with these. Oh, that's a lot of and a lancer. Okay, definitely the raiders might have caught wind of our activities, because that is a lot more attention than we usually get when we jump into these systems. We normally get a few scouts at best. But that is a lot of raiders, a lot of raider drones, and not an easy fight for us with our very limited firepower and other combat capabilities. Especially the larger ships are significant amounts of trouble. I would like to have the materials from finishing these off, but I can't return there just now because the destroyers are blocking it. We do have the Lancer up here, which we might be able to take on at long range, but that has brought us back into range of the drones. So let's run away. Let's keep our distance. See if we can peel some of them off the bulk of the fleet, and see if we can thin them out without getting hit by the primary weapons of these destroyers, because these things are even the Lancers are trouble. So pushing them back and then having the drones follow us is the better approach. Okay, that is one additional drone down. Let's see if we can collect. Nope, they're coming right. And I want to collect the materials from the salvage before it despawns. But we have to be careful not to get into the not to get in. Oh yeah, that nano repair systems active. Engines to full ahead. These were some heavy hits that we've taken again. So we are taking significant risks here of dealing with these ships without the amount of firepower. That was close. Even the Lancer. This is only the Lancer, but even that thing has fixed forward guns. Oh, there are two of them now. I thought we only had one of them, but we definitely have to keep away from them. We have done a bit of damage to the enemy ships, but not an awful lot. Okay, we can. We seem to have, if we're fighting them at maximum distance, we seem to have the advantage of reacting laterally to their forward guns and avoid most of the hits of these. And then we just have to deal with the secondary plasma turrets. But we've already taken significant damage again. This is a very risky battle. But it would net us some resources which we desperately need in order to improve our combat capabilities. Let's see if we can catch the Lancer. No, that's a negative. Okay, let's avoid the shots from the destroyer and then return fire very cautiously. I think the Lancer might. Okay, no, these are still the main weapons. So he still has his forward plasma guns, and these shots we definitely need to avoid because these are severely dangerous. I'm gonna once again engage the nano repair systems and see if we can chase down that Lancer and finish him off. We have taken out his void surfaces, but we do need to. The hull is still holding up. We do need to take care not to get too close to the destroyers. But we've peeled off the scouts, and so far it seems that they're not sending in reinforcements. So close, but not quite. Okay, that's one of the destroyers. Repairs coming along. And I think we only we have some damage to the engines, but nothing significant. Nothing the nano repair systems can't handle. But distance is required. Can't take them on head first. That's another. That's an undamaged Lancer. I want to finish off the damaged ones ideally first. So let's see if we can lead the shots a bit. And unfortunately, that has drained the plasma banks. I have to recharge these. They're tactically aware enough not to give chase at this point. So they have. Oh, that brings us into the range of their primary weapons. Whew, that was close. Okay, let's take on the other Lancer and see if we can get him. If we can get him taken down. But these things are a lot sturdier than the drones, and the destroyers are coming back for another pass. So open up the distance. Ignore the aluminium. that is within transporter range, and see if we can finish off the Lancer. I think it has lost its forward weapon systems, and so it's only the secondary plasma turrets we're dealing with, but we do have to be very careful. Even the plasma turrets from the destroyers are doing significant damage. But that's the primaries. Okay, avoid repairs up. Okay, the damaged Lancer is now taking... okay, that's another... Okay, a fresh Lancer has just jumped in, I believe. So... I'm keen to... that was close. Okay. We're dancing with destruction here. We're outnumbered and outgunned severely. I think this might actually have to be enough. Let's head towards the Higgs flinger, and just so that we can make our escape, and then we'll see if we can. Maybe we can still take the Lancer down. I'm tempted. If we can again, we need to peel them off from the main group. The Lancers might be a bit faster than the destroyers. Can we get him within plasma range? No, he's smarter than that. Okay, let's head towards the flinger, and just keep them at distance. I've damaged a few of them, so I'd be keen to get some shots off, but unfortunately their forward weapon systems are outranging our plasma guns. How many are left? 3 of them. 2 destroyers and a Lancer. Another pass. We can always escape via the Higgs flinger, and if we can get good engagements like this one, where we can catch the destroyer and dodge his shots a little bit more closely, that might actually be a tactic that works. So instead of trying to run and gun, we're effectively waiting for their fire to come in, and concentrate on evasive action at like this. Oof. Oh, that significantly hurt. So another light Lancer coming in. So the Lancers are spawning in repeatedly now at this point. But I'm thinking this tactic might work if we are just focusing on dodging their shots, because they seem to be salvo firing. So their energy banks cannot actually sustain fire for elongated periods of time, which means we have an opportunity, if we can dodge their salvos, to remain more stationary, and then take significant shots in return fire, like this one. He's got a few shots on from the secondary plasma turrets, but mostly ineffective. So if we maneuver less, focus less on general mobility and more on just dodging the incoming fire, then we can actually trade a fire with them more efficiently. And I don't know, I haven't seen any main weapons fire from either of them. There comes the second one again. Not sure where that other Lancer went. Okay, this one is already noticeably damaged, but that doesn't mean we can get careless, because he still has a significant amount of secondary plasma turrets, and we know how sturdy these ships are. It's taking a long time to get them cut off, and at short distance, that's the problem. At short distance. We got a fixed gun mount artifact. Awesome. Okay, that hopefully allows us to research that. At short distances, their secondary weapons are extremely potent. So we do have to be very, very careful with that. At long distance, we can outmaneuver them, but at short distances, this is significantly harder. Okay, he seems to not have any forward weapon systems ready. So. It's just the secondaries firing, but I think some of my plasma turrets are offline. So let's get the plasma turrets back online before we re-engage here, and then we'll see if we can collect a few more things. So this has been a significant battle so far. but it has given us at least the artifact. Okay, avoid most of the return fire from these, and then concentrate fire on the damaged ship. Make sure that we get enough shots in to do more damage than we're taking. And we might be able to, let's not get cocky. I was thinking we might be able to go in for a close range fight, but I think no, their plasma guns are still significantly more powerful than ours, their secondary plasmas. Yeah, we're taking a lot of damage now by going into for close range engagements. Let's not do that. Let's peel off, avoid the fire as much as possible, and get repairs underway first. The one reason, obviously, that I'm interested in getting these things destroyed is because of weapon systems drops, but the other one is sheer number of resources, because we are extremely short on resources. So any additional resources that we can use to upgrade our combat power are very, very important. At the same time, we are in a bit of a catch-22 situation, because, well, we are sorely lacking in the department of combat power. If you're wondering why I am struggling, and you might have missed the intersection. If you're wondering why I am struggling so much with these early game ships, I'm playing on the hardest difficulty. So I'm playing on, which means I am taking, I think triple damage from enemy ships, and I'm dealing only 30% of the damage that I normally would. I've done this because I found the engagements otherwise too easy starting in the mid game. But of course, it makes the early game significantly more challenging. Although I have to say I like it that way, because like I said, I found it actually too easy, and I'd like it to be a little bit more of a challenge, but of course, as you can see, the damage we're taking is significant. So even these relatively easy early game enemies, it's going to be longer space battles. I will eventually start cutting these out a bit, because you don't need to sit here for half an hour watching me struggle, especially if the battles are becoming repetitive. But for this first battle with the destroyers, I think it's worth sticking with it. So for now, I'm just gonna let it run and see if we can actually manage to finish these off, because that is a lot harder than it looks. Also, another thing I can mention, I am actually, if you happen to play along at home, I am not using the auto fire, because while that would allow me to focus more on evasion. Now I find that boring. Like, where's the fun in not being able to fire at enemy ships? I mean, that's what everything's all about, right? Okay, we're getting into a little bit more of a close range engagement with one of these destroyers. That also means that he's hitting more with the return fire. One of the other problems is that I have the forward plasma turret, and I don't have an awful lot of armor on the ship. So that means the deflection is relatively low. Okay, this is a bad setup. We're getting sandwiched between two of them. We're taking way too much damage, so we're going to get out. But this destroyer here is already relatively low, so maybe we can get a few cheeky distance shot in him. No. We need to get everything back online first. This one I don't actually want to engage too much. This is the one I want to finish off. So, and there's also a Lancer out there still somewhere. Hull's down to 43%. That is not ideal. And battle stations aren't ready. So, and the plasma guns are not active. We're getting into crossfire. That's bad. Okay, let's get out of the crossfire. There's another Lancer. Don't necessarily want to tangle with the Lancer right now. I think we need to get a bit of distance and then get the repairs done before we do another pass. Okay, we're almost ready for. Okay, battle station's ready. I'm not sure if these actually are repairing as well. Oh, that is too close, too close, too close. Much too close. Yeah, we've taken a lot of damage from that pass. That was much too close. Getting too cocky and taking damage. I'm not sure if these, if the enemy ships are enacting repairs themselves, and it's only the permanently destroyed modules that we're having to deal with. But I had the feeling that I had actually done already more damage to these than previously. So I think what I'll do, given that this might still take a while, I'm gonna skip ahead to the point where I'm either able to win the battle, or I'm gonna be faced to have to disengage. Okay, we've got the first destroyer shot down, and it's titanium and aluminium. I mean, I do need aluminium, but might not. I was hoping that they would drop something like yttrium or chirolite or something like that. That was very expensive and that I would need to purchase. But now that I don't have to worry about the crossfire anymore, I can actually engage the other destroyer a little bit more effectively. Because he has lost his main forward cannons, so we can sustain that a little bit better and just deal with the return fire from his secondary guns at max range, and we'll actually end up doing, I think, a lot more damage than if we are trying to make passes. There we go. Second destroyer has been taken down. Let's see what he's been dropping. Just more titanium, really. Okay, for now we will return to Seleno and see what we can. We have a fixed gun mount to. Oops, hostile vessel detected. Oh yeah, there was still a Lancer here. Okay, we might finish that one off. So we're not going to jump. Let's finish off the Lancer, collect the resources, but we do have a fixed gun part that might be analyzable in the lab. Is he fleeing again? We might have damaged his engines previously. No, he's actually pretty much stationary. Alright, that is going to be the end of him then. And that's, I think, just titanium? No, it's aluminium. Well, 6 aluminium, I'll take it. Okay, let's return to Seleno. And, which isn't here, but which is over there. And we are going to, while we're flying, we can analyze that fixed gun mount. That also gives us a free research point. Part of a fixed plasma weapon. Okay, we found enough components that we should be able to research building this weapon. Yes. I completely assume that I will not have the necessary resources to do so. But if we can get these, forward mounts, if we can get the forward mounts that the raiders are using implemented as fixed gun positions, then this would significantly boost our firepower. However, that's also going to draw way too much energy from the single reactor that we've got here. And overall, raider scouts here as well. Do I want to take them out? Yeah, might as well. It's additional resources, and it's just 2 scouts. Scouts, I'm reasonably confident that we can take them down without too much trouble. And then we can return to Seleno after we've collected their resources. Okay, that's titanium and aluminium. I did research a crew skill, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that would allow me to salvage, to get more salvage. I mean, aluminium isn't terrible. We can always trade it out for with the Guerrier for other things. But for now, okay, more scouts. Yeah, it's okay. We'll hop on the gateway and get back here. Let's see if I don't think they'll be following us through the gateway. They don't even know how to use the Higgs flingers, correct? So let's head to the station, and Dr. Rama actually would like to talk to us. Latest log entry on the station. First contact meeting with the Guerrier is now available at Seleno Xeno channel. Raw translation data will be available by 1100 tomorrow. Yes, we know the transcript should read, happy to meet us. Yeah, someone might have snuck an A in there, potentially. Let's have a chat with Dr. Rama. Let's go to while the crew is resting after this ordeal. Let's head over to the laboratory and see what she wants. Artemis has uncovered more scientific data than expected from you. Thank you, Doctor. To reinforce this data-seeking behavior, whenever you return with sufficient new research material and I have time, I will answer one non-urgent question about our work. Not treating me like a... No, this is just... that's just how she is. Was that a thank you? No, an optimization. That wasn't much of a question. I'll allow one more. Okay. So we can have one question, provided we bring enough research to the station that she finds interesting. She will answer some questions. Don't we already have most of these technologies? Of course, Starcom has these technologies. So as we've learned, the physical laws of this universe are very subtly different from ours. For example, vacuum permittivity is slightly lower past the sixth significant figure. You do not want to try to fabricate a Mark II plasma cannon with 8.85487 picofarads per meter tolerance here. So go find us some research data. Okay, so this is actually an interesting spin on this, because obviously, why don't we know how to make better engines? We do, but the laws of the universe actually work differently. So we need to gather sufficient technology from this universe to make the necessary adjustment that would allow us to actually start using these components. All right, either way, we should have, which one was that? Resource spotters? Yeah, this was the one where the one astroscience increase the expected value of resource drops. So I would assume we're not getting more resources, but we're getting more valuable resources, which is great. So we can do a trait analysis. That would be great, I think. But we can also do fixed guns. We can't do both. Now, fixed gun research would allow us to forward fixed plasma cannons with longer range and more power than the plasma turrets. I do, however, want the trait analysis. What else can we get? We can get better scanners, which would be increasing the scanner range, so we don't get surprised that easily. We could also get, what can we get? Any further improvements? This is turn rate of turrets. And this is damage on turrets. We could do the positron coating, because that would be a direct improvement without us having to build anything. That would be a direct improvement to the plasma cannons, and it would also lead towards the Mark II plasma cannon. So let's get that, because I'm fully expecting that I'm not able to afford the fixed guns yet. That research comes next, but we can also do the trade analysis now. And if we are to trade with the Guerrier for resources, that would be beneficial. So we need 100 research points for the fixed gun research. Let's head over to the shipyard, just to load up the Mark II Vega class, and see if there's anything we need to change. No, we don't have any additional propulsion to reactors. We could, I do have the heat profile now, so I wanted to see if I could stick some bulkheads in here just for additional. We'll have to keep an eye. We'll have to keep an eye on these plasma cannons here. We'll see if we can get some additional sturdiness on the ship, so our reactors aren't so exposed. Yeah, no, it would overheat the forward plasma cannons quite noticeably. So could we put a or even just a mini deflector in here? Would that overheat the plasma cannon, the forward plasmas as well? Because it does take away, it does block, it does block the vents. So unless we have active cooling, which we don't have the research for yet, unfortunately, this is the best we can do. So I'll revert for now, and we'll have a quick look. And now we have some additional aluminium. We do have platinum and uranium. I'm tempted to sell this because I don't have any need for it right now, and I really need a ship that is more capable. So let's have a quick chat with the Guerrier again, if we can find them. That is. It seems the Guerrier are not home. No, the Guerrier are not in the system at this point. That's unfortunate, because they're the only ones we can trade with. We can't trade with the Airmere, because they're mercenaries. We can't trade with the CXTA, because they're not allowed by the Trade Guild, who we haven't met yet. And we can't... we don't have anybody else to trade with. And I would really like to see if we can make some improvements to the ship before we are taking on the Red Raiders in this region, because these fights have been grueling with the Red Raider destroyers. So... we might do that in the next episode, and I'm gonna go around and see if I can locate the Guerrier, and then see if we can trade with them for some resources that we need to get a Mark II Vega class scout out of the Artemis, out of the automated shipyard, with 4 with 4 plasma cannons, which is still not great, but better than 3. But with significantly faster ship with additional engines, and then we could see if we can take on some of these enemies a little bit more easily.